Hello, Cedar Grove families. This is your reading specialist, Mrs. Delbazo, here to give you a short tutorial on a very helpful website called Lexile.com. Lexile.com can help you as parents select books for your children that are at their appropriate reading range. So I'm going to take you through the website to show you how to select books for your child based on their current Lexile range. The Lexile ranges are determined by the reading assessments that we give children 3 times a year in fall, winter, and spring. That can be really helpful and empowering for us to use as teachers and parents when we're trying to help students select books when we're going to the library or the media center. And that's often a question I get from parents. So we're going to go right here to Lexile Tools, and I'm going to go down to where it says Find a Book. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Once the website comes up, you're going to see a couple of different things that you could put in. So I'm going to show you today this piece down here that says Lexile Range. So each child, after an assessment in grades 2, 3, 4, and 5, we do not use Lexile measures in grades K and 1, will be given a Lexile measure after their assessments are complete. This Lexile measure is a range, which is something we truly understand that all children read within a range. Nonfiction tends to be a little more challenging. Fiction sometimes tends to be a little bit easier in their readability. So children don't read at one certain level in one certain moment in time. We're constantly reading in a range. For example, if you gave me a book that's a medical book or a medical journal, I would have a much lower readability of that and understand less based on the content because it's not something that I currently study regularly. However, if you gave me an article on reading research, which is something that I study every day, I would have a much higher readability and comprehension at with that particular content. So we're kind of always reading within a range. So I looked up just an average third grader today, and I'm going to type in their Lexile measure came out 455 to 605. And you can dig into this website and learn more about Lexile measures, but I'm just trying to help you today and empower you to use the data that we have to help select books for your child. So I'm going to type in the Lexile range, and then down here I can search by interest. So let's say my child really loves animals. I can come down here and they're really interested in pets. So I'm going to go ahead and search books at that Lexile range under that topic. So I see all sorts of pets, and oh my gosh, wouldn't it be fun to read about pets at the White House, or golden retriever, or dachshunds, or cats. So once you kind of see the book cover, you can click on it. And I want to pull your attention to where it says indicators. It will give you an age range, 8 to 11. That's great for a third grader. It tells you the language, how many pages, and of course, when it was copyrighted and published. But down here with indicators, I want to click on that because here is where this is a little bit helpful. This will give you a little bit of a range on on some different measures, such as decoding vocabulary, sentences, and patterns. So the decoding for this book is going to be a little bit harder. The vocabulary is kind of a mid-range. The sentence structure should not be that difficult, but the patterns within the book may be a little bit harder. I think this is really interesting to note because this Lexile measure is a 470, which is towards the lower range of this student's Lexile range at this point. They started at 455. So this would be a nice book for this child to bring home and pretty much be able to decode it and understand it independently. Another nice piece of this website is you can find the book on Amazon if you're trying to select some books you may want to buy for your child to have at home, or you can find it in a library. So I love the fact that you have lots of options as a parent. The other thing I want to empower you to do is check in on the books that your children are bringing home. Now, we don't always have to be selecting books that are in our exact reading range, But it might be interesting to note what kinds of books your children are bringing home. So I'm going to type in the name of an author, Dave Pilkey, and I'm going to search it. He's a very popular author with young children. He has written those Dog Man books. If you know Captain Underpants, he has a number of different really fun series for kids. Geronimo Stilton. Oh, that was a huge one when I was teaching third grade. Kids love Dave Pilkey. But I hear a lot of parents saying, I really don't want my kid in that Dog Man book. I want them to read something harder because looking at the cover, the Dog Man book looks fairly simple. But I'm going to go on here and I'm actually going to click on that Dog Man book. And it has a 530 readability. Its age ranges for students ages 7 to 9. Generally, that's just a range. But let's go to the indicators. This book has some really challenging vocabulary in it. That's really good for our kiddos. The decoding is a bit more challenging. The sentence structures are going to be fairly easy, and the patterns are going to be challenging. So sometimes by looking at a book, and I know this is one of those graphic novels, we tend to think that that's too easy for some of our students to read. But when we look at it being analyzed from a Lexile perspective, this is a really nice, challenging book for a third grade student or a student reading within that particular Lexile range. So it's going to be kind of fun for you guys at home to type in the title or the author to see if the readability is really kind of around your child's range. Maybe it's too difficult. But looking here, we've got some Dave Pilkey books that go all the way up. Let me see, 25 more books here. All the way up into the 800 Lexile, he has some. Oh, who doesn't love Junie B. Jones? That's a classic, book series. Bad Guys just came out. Kids are super into these, but they have a pretty high Lexile measure. Age range for students 8 to 10. So it might be fun for parents to utilize this website to really see what the readability is for certain books that your kids are bringing home. Again, Lexile measures are only given to students in grades 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this Lexile.com website is a wonderful resource for you to utilize at home to help your child select books at the library or to check in on the books that they're bringing home from the Media Center. Please let me know if you have any additional questions. I'm always here to help empower my parents and help you utilize the information that we use here at school to support your children. You can always email me at Erin, ERIN, _E_Delbalzo, DELBALZO, @mcpsmd.org. Have a wonderful day.